All right, areas under a curve. That's a definite integral, isn't it? All right, so we're going to get the integral from 1 to 3 x over x squared plus 1 quantity squared dx. That shouldn't have been there, but that was a hint of what you needed to do. Now, what's the more complicated thing, the x or the x squared plus 1 quantity squared? Yeah, the bottom. So u is going to be x squared plus 1. What's my du? 2x dx. Now, from here, if I know x equals 1, I want u of 1. Which would be 1 squared plus 1, which is 2. And if I know x is equal to 3, I want u of 3, which would be 3 squared plus 1, which is 10. Now, do I have enough to make my du? What do I have to do? Multiply by 2 and multiply by 1/2 out front. So now I'm going to change the entire thing in terms of u. So I got my 1/2. I need my new limits, 2 to 10. So 2 in the bottom, 10 up top. And this would be du over u squared, which is equal to 1/2 the integral from 2 to 10 of u to the negative 2 du. Oops. So I got 1/2 times u to the negative 1 over negative 1. And I got to evaluate that from 2 to 10. Which is equal to, can I move that negative 1 out there? Alright, so that's negative 1/2 times, now u to the negative 1 is really what? 1 over u, and I want to evaluate that from 2 to 10. So what's 1 over, well, 1 over 10 minus 1 over 2. Now, 1/2, if I made that into tenths, wouldn't that be 5/10? So what's 1/10 minus 5/10? Negative 4/10. Alright, negative and negative is a positive, correct? 2 goes into 4 how many times? Alright, so divide those out. I got a 2. 2 goes into 10 how many times? 5. And so I get 1/5. So I got my answer from there. Now, a couple things that, as far as this stuff goes. That wasn't. I was doing division. 2 divides into 2. It wasn't squared. It was actual just working on canceling out stuff. Dividing out stuff. Now, big thing with this, do not make it harder than it needs to be. Go step by step. Take it slow. Find your composite function. The only time that you're going to have to do that crazy thing with the u is when there's an x there when your du doesn't have an x in it. So you're going to have to use the u equation and substitute in there and kind of work your magic that way. Your homework, not in the green book, but in the khaki book, yellow. the other one, the course pack, page 90 to 91. It's the substitution method for integration.
Why don't we use u, which was negative second in the second step? Yeah, that's
Because it's easier to apply the power rule here than 1 over u squared.